All right, I don't have to say it because I think the animation, Dom, says it all. It's time for our Market Navigator, brought to you by Charles Schwab, and you're Dominic Chu.
I am, and you are Brian Sullivan.
Hi.
That was Kelly Evans over there. We were just talking to. Anyway, so the healthcare sector is starting off 2025 with some smaller gains, but on a relative basis, it's outperforming. It's got a long way to go, though, to make for a tough 2024. With J.P. Morgan's healthcare conference kind of wrapping up this week, our next guest is taking a look at the sector and has some thoughts on where it's headed and which names may be in for a healthier return this year. Yeah, I did it. I went there. So joining us now, Mr. Sullivan, is Carter Worth, the founder and CEO of Worth Charting. Carter, thanks for being here. It was the worst performing, the single worst performing sector in the S&P 500 over the last 12 months. So is it due for a bounce?
Yes, thank you, man. Good to see you both. The question here, of course, is it right to play this laggard? Sometimes there's weakness to stay away from, and then there's weakness to take advantage of. My hunch is it's the latter. Worst performer last year, but also, and we might start with the very first chart, over the past 10 years, basically, you're talking about an aggregate, one of the parts that composes the whole, being up 100%, orange line, that's healthcare, where the market's up 200. So it's not only been a real problem over the past 12 months, but over a long period now, which is to say that the relative performance of the sector peaked to the market in 2015. So the question is what to do. It's still the fourth largest sector at basically 10.5% weight in the S&P. And I think there are individual names that one should take advantage of. And we have two of them here to focus on. So the first to look at would be ISRG. By my work, this is a steady, orderly uptrend. You can see it there. It has bounced off the trend line to the penny, to the penny, to the penny. And, you know, the relative strength, momentum, very much intact. And it's a case of stay long, be long, by my work. Now, a smaller stock, but still they're both very large cap, is Stryker. ISRG is almost 200 billion. Stryker is more like 130. But the same circumstance here. It's the importance of respecting trend and then trying to take advantage of weakness that leaves a stock or currency, commodity index back at a trend line. So both stocks playing for a bounce here within a sector that is very depressed.
All right, Carter Worth with the moves there. Carter, thank you very much for being here. Right, and we'll see whether healthcare makes that turnaround. But again, I mean, it is an important sector, as he points out, the fourth biggest sector in the entire S&P. And how many times have we talked about Eli Lilly and GLP-1s and all of these other big trends that are happening right now? So maybe there are at least names that you have to look at outside of just the ones that are doing weight loss.